On 7 News tonight, a humpback rescue mission sparks new calls for Gold Coast shark nets to be removed during whale season. The Prime Minister accused of failing Queensland cyclone victims. 2 killed in a tandem skydiving tragedy that ends on a driveway near Sydney. A high-rise fire claims at least 3 lives in Hawaii. Overworked doctors speak out, saying patients' lives are being put at risk. And dangerous near misses and an assault. A big night for an accused drink driver, 4 times the legal limit.
Live from our Brisbane headquarters, this is 7 News with Kay McGrath.
Good evening. A whale rescue mission off the Gold Coast has prompted new calls for shark nets to be removed during peak humpback season. A mother and her calf were entangled today. The baby couldn't be saved. The Prime Minister is accused of delivering a kick in the guts to North Queensland victims of Cyclone Debbie after agreeing to contribute only a third of the relief funding the Premier requested. The decision prompted a bit of war of words as Malcolm Turnbull toured the southeast. And Katrina Blas, the LNP, has unveiled unprecedented terrorism measures.
Okay, Tim Nicholls says if he wins government, he'll give Queensland Police new powers to detain terror suspects for 28 days. Mr Nicholls says the plan would also make way for a dedicated counter-terrorism minister to be appointed to Cabinet.
Katrina Blas. There's been a tragic end to a tandem skydive in Sydney's southwest. An instructor and passenger plunged to their deaths several hundred metres from the landing zone. They crashed onto the driveway of a property. A drug syndicate operating across the southeast has been smashed by police following a series of raids. Ben Murphy reveals how long the group had been monitored. Ben Murphy. New figures paint a grim picture for child safety in Queensland, with more than 2,500 extra families being investigated this year. At least 3 people have died and many more have been injured in a high-rise apartment blaze in Hawaii. The fire broke out near the top of the tower and quickly spread to other floors. A Gold Coast man accused of a dangerous late-night joyride was almost 4 times the legal limit and on drugs. 7 News has obtained exclusive pictures of the moment the ute nearly mowed down a pedestrian. And Mac Lyon, this follows calls for a crackdown on the coast's soaring crime rate.
Yes, Kay, Federal MP Steve Chobo wants the Premier to take urgent action, fearing the coast could once again become Queensland's crime capital.
Thanks, Mac. To Crystal Etherington now, and the Gold Coast Mayor and Commonwealth Games Chief have come together for the first time since that war of words erupted between them.
Kay, just days after Tom Tate publicly called Games Chair Peter Beattie an overcooked media tart, the pair were happily posing for the cameras for the official unveiling of a $16.5 million hockey venue at Labrador.
Thanks, Crystal. There are urgent calls for stricter controls on the number of hours doctors work. It follows the release of an audit showing half the nation's medicos are putting patients in danger by working too many hours. The AMA says some are so tired they may as well be drunk. Let's check weather now. And Laura, the southeast has been hit by some storms.
Yes, Kay, the showers and storms have been very hit and miss, though. If you look at the radar, a line of storms developed in the west in the early afternoon. Some moderate falls were recorded there, along with reports of small hail. But you can see how patchy it is as it approached the coast. Late this afternoon, the storms passed over Ipswich and the Gold Coast, and moments ago it began bucketing down in Brisbane. And there's still more to come tonight and into Sunday morning. I'll have the details a little later.
Thanks, Laura. He says he put it all on the table, but what else is Donald Trump Jr. hiding about his links with Russia? How a man survived a fall from Kangaroo Point cliffs. Sinkhole emergency, 2 homes swallowed, fears for many more. And how the mail that doesn't get collected is helping those in need. A man had to be rescued after falling down the Kangaroo Point cliffs overnight. He was taking photos when he lost his footing. Donald Trump has commemorated the 100th anniversary of Bastille Day in Paris. Meantime, after insisting there was nothing more to tell, it seems Donald Trump Jr. left out some vital information about his controversial meeting during the election campaign. A former Soviet military officer has come forward, confirming he was also there. US military officials say they've dealt a significant blow to Islamic State, killing the leader of the Afghanistan branch. A street in the US state of Florida has been shut down by a sinkhole. Surveillance cameras have captured the moment a stolen car slammed into a tree at high speed. If you've ever wondered what happens to lost or unclaimed mail, we have the answer. Thousands of items end up here every year to be auctioned off. Don't miss how they're being used for a good cause. That's soon on 7 News. It was a flawed plan right from the start. The ram-raiding thieves who targeted a car wash and lost. Acid attacks, the growing trend that's worrying London police. Fire forces an early morning emergency at a Brisbane apartment block. And the country's best chefs put Brisbane's tastes to the test. A Logan gang has used a suspected stolen car in a pre-dawn ram raid at a car wash. They were trying to steal cash from a pay station, but their plan backfired when they couldn't break open or lift the machine, which weighs up to 400 kilograms. Already gripped by terror and tragedy, London is facing a new threat. 2 teenagers have been arrested after a spree of acid attacks injured 5 people. Police say there have been 450 similar attacks in recent times. Hundreds of residents had an early wake-up call in Hamilton this morning when a fire broke out in an underground basement. A day after failing to come up with a solution to the power crisis, the Prime Minister today committed himself to coal, calling its opponents delusional. But the question that's still gone unanswered, what's being done to drive down power bills? The who's who of celebrity chefs has descended on Brisbane for the 9th annual Regional Flavours Festival at Southbank. How Queensland researchers are offering new hope for breast cancer survivors, the 3D printed implants that may help deliver chemotherapy. The failed selfie that ended up being very costly. And meet Australia's newly crowned Miss World. On this day in 1995, Queenslanders went to the polls. Premier Wayne Goss versus Rob Borbidge. Labor suffered a backlash over plans to build a highway between Brisbane and the Gold Coast through koala habitat.
We are no longer the easy beats.
Gallery goers are often warned not to touch the artwork. This next woman learned why the hard way. She was trying to take a selfie under a crown that was on display, but leant back a little too far, knocking over the pedestal and triggering a domino effect. Queensland researchers are giving new hope to breast cancer survivors who've undergone a mastectomy. Using a 3D printer, they're developing biodegradable implants which encourage the growth of new breast tissue. The implants may eventually be able to provide a more targeted form of chemotherapy. A criminal profiler from Melbourne has been crowned Miss World Australia. And we wish her well. Let's check the day's sport now. Here's Paddy.
Thank you, Kay. Hello, everyone. Coming up, the Suns shooting for win number 8, a miserable finish for the Reds. Broncos looking to stay in touch with the top 4. Roger Federer continues to amaze. There's one hurdle left at Wimbledon. And J-Bay turns it on. The wait was worth it for the world's best. The Broncos are in a dogfight with the lowly Knights this evening. Already in round 19, Canberra claimed a thriller. Scans will determine Carmichael Hunt's involvement in the Bledisloe Cup after the Wallaby star injured his ankle in the Reds' Dunedin demolition. The Suns are toughing it out against Collingwood at Carrara tonight. Already in round 17, the Bombers beat St Kilda by 10 goals. If possible, Roger Federer can grow the legend tomorrow night at Wimbledon.
Nick Markham, 7 News.
Australia has had the perfect start as surfing finally kicked off in South Africa. And that, Kay, is our sport.
Well, thank you, Pat. Now, a look ahead at tomorrow's Sunday night. Fuelcast is next, and then what happens to the mail that's never claimed? The Bargain Hunters Treasure Trove, where charity is the winner.
And I'll have the latest on the southeast storms and showers.
Checking today's main stories now, and a whale rescue mission off the Gold Coast has prompted new calls for shark nets to be removed during peak humpback season. A fire in a Honolulu high-rise has claimed 3 lives and injured many more. The blaze started in the upper stories and spread quickly. A tandem skydive has ended in tragedy with the bodies of 2 people found on a driveway near Sydney. And urgent calls for stricter controls on doctors' working hours, with an audit revealing patients' lives are being put at risk. The AMA says some are so tired they may as well be drunk. Checking Fuelcast, the RACQ says drivers should fill the tank now while prices are low. They could be parcels sent to the wrong person or presents without a return address. Ever wondered where lost post ends up? Now, with the weather, here's Laura Dimmick.
Thank you, Kay. Good evening. Well, the falls have now eased, but that's not the end of the wet weather we're likely to see this weekend. If we go back to the radar, the rain was very intense at times, but the storm cells moved quickly. It was all over in about 15 minutes. Brisbane's western and southern suburbs had the heaviest falls. Mount Gravatt picked up 19 millimetres, 17 at Enoggera, 10 in the city and 11 at Ipswich. Before the storms rolled in, it was quite warm in the southeast today due to a static weather pattern that won't shift until Tuesday. Brisbane reached 25 degrees, which is about 3 degrees above the July average. Turning to the satellite picture now, a cloud band over southern Queensland and through New South Wales has some thunderstorms embedded in it, and low cloud, which is just visible here over North Queensland, is being pushed by winds directed by the high pressure system in the Tasman Sea. On the outlook chart, a high over South Australia is moving east, while a deep low pressure system is developing over the Bight. To the capitals, fine and sunny in Sydney and Darwin, becoming cloudy in Melbourne, and expect a shower or 2 in Perth and Adelaide. Closer to home, it should be fine in North Queensland with a bit of cloud cover in Cairns and Mackay. It's a different story further south. Showers along the Wide Bay coast add in the possibility of a storm at Gympie and Toowoomba. In the southeast tomorrow, there'll be some showers early, but the threat of light falls can't be ruled out into the afternoon. Also worth noting, the overnight temperatures. You can safely turn the heater off and kick off the extra blanket tonight. You won't need it. Brisbane will be just 15 degrees. On the water tomorrow, variable westerly winds in the morning will shift east to southeasterly by the afternoon. So some early showers tomorrow in Brisbane, 15 degrees up to 23. We should be back to mostly fine conditions for the start of the working week, but don't pack the umbrella away just yet. There's a slim chance of showers on Tuesday. A storm is currently heading towards Ipswich, so prepare for some more rain. Tomorrow, though, expect showers and another storm. On the Gold Coast, showers in the morning should clear in the afternoon. Monday is looking mostly fine before, again, the threat of some wet weather on Tuesday. And on the Sunshine Coast, showers are more likely to stick around into the afternoon, so make some wet weather plans just in case. They're also at risk of getting a storm. Now, if the sky clears tomorrow, it should still be a great day to head to the beach. Here's Liz.
Despite a chilly start to the day, the wetsuits were on and there were plenty of beachgoers out early. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, Liz. And that's all from us this Saturday. Thanks for your company. We'll have updates throughout the evening and weekend sunrise at 7 a.m. But for now, from all the team, have a very good night.